G'day brewers and welcome to bottling day in our Baswegian Blonde Ale. When we last left off, we set up a secondary fermenter and created the clearest batch so far. Now that it's fermented away enough, it's time for the bottling treatment. Now, normally I'd be using the handy carbonation drops from the supermarket, but I had a few mixed results with my last batch using the drops, which ended up causing a few to end up, well, a bit flat. Now, this could have been from any of the following: the drops not working, the seal just not tight enough, not enough fermentation in the bottles at room temperature. Now this is possibly the biggest culprit, but let's not rule anything out. So it's time to change things up. So now it's a case of drops out and dextrose in, aka a simple sugar. A kilo of this stuff should only set you back a few bucks at your local brew shop. Now to measure it out, I've bought this handy little scoop. This was just $3 at Big W. The smaller scoop for normal sized beer bottles, the larger for your tallies. Simply scoop up some dextrose, tap the scoop against something to level it out, and get it to the edge, and then into the bottle it goes. Nice and simple. Before we get there though, we need to get the bottles sanitized. So into a food grade bucket they go with a few scoops of Steriphos, and they soak overnight to be ready the next day. This is also handy if you've got some beer labels that you need to get rid of too. Don't forget to give them a thorough rinse too after the soaking to make sure all the cleaning agents are well and truly gone. Final check of the gravity and a quick number crunch of an alcohol by volume calculator gives us about 3.5% alcohol by volume. A little lower than the recipe expected, but you know what? It tastes okay. I'm happy with it so far. Now when it comes to bottling, my kids absolutely love to get involved. I had Jackson on dextrose scoop duty using my new measure, and Sophie was tasked with popping caps on the filled bottles before I capped them down, remembering to give them a half turn and cap again just to create and ensure a nice tight seal. The family that bottles together gets to watch Dad and Pa drink them much later when they're ready. 10 Baswegian Blondes later, out of this small batch and into the cupboard they go for at least a week before spending another 48 hours in the fridge and then taste it. I can't wait. Now, a couple of things I learnt along the way. There's still a small amount of trouble in this secondary fermenter. Nowhere near the normal levels in the primary, of course, but when trying to get the brew out with a siphon, I still kicked up a bit of it and it made things a bit cloudy. They will more than likely settle down again, especially in the fridge, but it was a tough task getting the stuff out without hitting the bottom of the vessel and knocking things around. A small tap on the side of our secondary will go a long way in making things easier to get the beer out next time. So, let's add that to the list of helpful things we're learning along the way. All in all, a great day for beer in bottles, and we'll see soon if the dextrose has had a much greater effect in carbonation and giving the beer a nice head than the drops have in the last batch.